All right. Hey, everyone. All right. Hey, guys. How are you doing today? All right. All right. So I see there's a bunch of people already joining. So nice to see you all here, guys. All right. So let's get this started, right? Um, all right. So, guys, as you already know, we're here to start the RemoteCon event, right? Um, so, welcome, everyone. You might already know that VinHack team has been working remotely over 5 years now. So, due to this current world situation, most companies are adapting to the remote, how can I say, style. So, we decided to do this event with you guys and share not only our experience hiring remotely, but also working on a daily basis, right? And also, of course, help you to land your dream job, um, and so on. So, just a reminder, RemoteCon starts today, April 15th, and it goes up to April 29th. We're going to have three webinars with six speakers. And so, the first one we start today with Bruna and myself, which is this preparation is the key, how to rock your online interview. Next week on Tuesday, on Wednesday, we are going to have Karan, our immigration consultant. He's going to be speaking about what changes in Canada immigration and work visa due to COVID-19. And he will be covering all your questions as well and stuff. And also, in the last day of the remote con, on April 29th, we are going to have our CEO, Ilya, is speaking with you guys about real life success cases. He's going to be sharing his experience working remotely. And also, he's going to have some um, vent hackers who got hired and who are working remotely for Canadian companies as well, right? And at the end of the webinar today, I'm going to share with you a big promotion. And so stay tuned, stay with us. And all right, great. So I think we can start with our presentation, right? Hi, Bruna.
Hello.
How are you
Hi,
doing today?
everyone. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine as well, regardless
Great.
of my voice. But
Yeah.
all good. All right, so guys, as you already know, we're going to be speaking about preparation for online interviews, and most importantly, what's the difference between in-person and online interview, right? So again, welcome to Van Hack's Remote Con. I am Aline. I am currently a interview advisor lead at Van Hack, and I am also a tech interview instructor at our Van Hack Premium, which means that I'm hosting classes every Tuesday and Thursdays about technical interviews and going over exercises with you guys as well. My background, I have been working in the IT environment for over 10 years now. I am a former PHP developer and I also have a background as a ESL teacher. Here you have my email and you can also find me on LinkedIn, right? Bruna?
Okay, so some people already know me here. I can see from the names on the chat. I'm Bruna, technical recruiter here at Van Hack. I have a background in recruitment for about like 8 years, five of them recruiting for technical roles in IT companies. So a little bit about me, and of course you have my email and LinkedIn. You guys can feel free to add me and send me messages if you have questions.
All right. And guys, if you do have any questions, please leave them in the chat, okay? And in the end, we will be going through them. All right. Okay, so Bruna, would you tell us from your tech recruiter view, what does it take to start applying for international jobs?
Okay, so in order for candidates to apply a Van Hack, the first thing that we have is the building a Van Hack profile. Okay, so for that, candidate must have the complete information about their contact info, resume. The profile must be completed. That will cut our attention. That this, of course, will catch our attention, and it will be super easy to book a first interview with these candidates. Okay, so information as like resume, LinkedIn, GitHub, website, of course, contact information, they are a must have in order to get the recruiter getting in touch with these candidates. Also, the second language, it is important, right? Because candidates are applying for jobs outside their home country, so English is important. And Van Hack help you to have your English skills verified. So the companies feel that that's important as well. So we currently share candidates that are verified to companies, and they can be sure candidates have enough English skills to be interviewed. Okay. Also, during our interviews with Van Hack recruiters, we will ask about important information about your previous and current experience, time of experience. So be prepared to talk about your technical experience, the projects that you have working with, time of experience that you have with each stack. This is important for us to take notes, and of course, help us to send your information to the companies with more background of the candidates, and that can catch their attention as well. Okay. And what about soft skills? It is important to share with us and highlight your interaction with the team, important projects that you have been working with, challenges that you faced. These are as important as your technical experience. So it is important for us to get to know you guys better, and of course, match you with the companies that have a style that matches your experience as well.
All right, so now that you know what you need to have, like on your Van Hack profile, to be ready to be contacted by one of our recruiters, I would like to share with you what is the difference between a face-to-face interview and an online interview. What kind of different types of interviews can you have, right? So first of all, for any kind of interview you may have, regardless of um, the device you're using, let's say, what are the companies looking for in a job interview, right? They are looking for the perfect combination, right? So they are looking for to understand how you can contribute with the company and how you fit their cultural environment, right? So this is the first thing to get to have in mind when preparing for your interview as well. And it's also very important for you to understand if that job position makes sense for your career, right? It has to be a good match both ways. Um, so another thing, how does it work? How does a job interview works? It's all about strategy and exchange. So you need to keep in mind that regardless of being a phone interview, in-person interview, or online interview, you need to be strategical, right? You are there to negotiate and to demonstrate to the interviewers what your values are, and what you're bringing to the company with your expertise, right? So also you need to keep in mind that you have the power of choosing which information from your career will take you closer to that dream job, right? So that's about being strategical when building your answers, right? There are informations that you definitely want to share with them, but there are other informations that will not be relevant for that point, right? So it doesn't mean you're going to be lying, okay? You need to tell the truth all the time, but you can definitely choose what you want to share. And again, it's about exchanging, right? So a job interview is an exchange of offers. So have in mind what the company can offer to you in terms of environment, culture, technologies, professional growth and stuff, but also what can you offer to the company, right? How are you going to use your skills to solve their problems, right? So keep that in mind. Both you and the company are interested in exchanging those offers, right? So it's about negotiating, right? And at the end of the day, it has to be the perfect match for you and for the company, right? So let's talk about the different types of interviews, right? So phone interviews, I don't know if any of you had before. But when you have a phone interview, it might seem that it's less intimidating because you're not seeing the person, right? Your appearance will not be relevant, so you don't need to dress up, very formal. You can also have your notes to take a look and help you remind your answers, right? Again, you're not going to read your answers, but you can definitely have bullet points. However, because you only have your voice as the device or the tool for that interview, it's more challenging than the other ones. So it's harder to build a strong connection when you only have your voice, right? Because you're not seeing the interviewer's body language. You don't know if they are excited with your background, if they are interested. They're not doing eye contact with you, right? It is normal, right? It is not a problem, but it is something that you need to keep in mind. That way, you can work on your communication skills, right? To engage the interviewer in the conversation, and build that connection with them. Another challenge is that because a phone interview sometimes is just a screening, people may think that it's easy or the questions will be easier than other interviews. And that could be a mistake. So if you're having a phone interview, make sure to prepare yourself and your answers the same way you would prepare for any other interview. They might ask you technical questions, so, and you want to be prepared to tell your stories right away. Um, Another type of interview, we do have the in-person or face-to-face interviews. Event hack face-to-face interviews, they happen on our mission events, right? And we used to have the leap event as well. And we hope to get back to that in-person thing, right, soon. So what's the difference? In the in-person interview, the non-verbal communication is super important because the person is looking at you. The person is seeing your whole body, they can see your body language, and our body talks more than our voice sometimes. However, it's easier to create those face-to-face connections, right? Because you're feeling the energy of the environment. You are there in person. You get to shake hands, to greet each other and stuff. However, there are some challenges, right? The body language, as I said, it's very important to watch your body language and to make sure that you keep a professional posture. It's also challenging to build rapport with the individuals. Sometimes you have panel interviews with more than one interviewer in person. So you need to make sure that you engage all of them in the conversation, or make sure that you have questions for all of them and stuff. And also, you need to be careful when constructing your answers, because in a in-person interview, you're not going to have your bullet points, for example. You're not going to have your notes with you, right? And last but not least, what about the online interviews, which is something that we are going through currently? The online interviews or video interviews, they have the convenience of the phone interview because you're just using your voice and you are at your home, right? More comfortable. And it also has the visual element. They get to see you and you get to interact with the interviewer. Um, Another thing, at VHAC, we do offer mock interviews for every candidate who gets an interview with the company, which means that you get the chance of practicing with us before, right? So on those calls, we practice common questions with you. We help you build your answers. We help you find the right things to share, and we also help you giving you feedback about the environment, right? So online interviews, you have to prepare yourself the same way as if you were on a in-person interview because of the visual element, right? So it means that you need to dress up properly, you need to sit up straight, keep your professional posture as well. And the challenges then, it would be your internet connection. You need to make sure that it's running smoothly, because if you start the interview and the connection starts breaking, your voice starts breaking, it might not be a nice, how can I say, a nice impression. It will not cause a nice impression. It seems like you didn't take your time to prepare the environment, right? So watch out for internet connection problems. Test your device beforehand. Test your camera. Test your microphone. Make sure that everything is clear, that they can hear you clearly, they can see you from shoulder up. Another thing is the environment. So choose a room where you have um, a plain background, there's nothing distracting the interviewer, there's no background noise. So if you have your family with you in your house, make sure to be in a separate room, close the door, let them know that for 1 hour or 30 minutes you're going to be in an interview, so you would like to do not be interrupted, right? It's always negotiable, right? And the camera angle, right? Make sure that they can see you at least from your shoulder up, and always make eye contact. Look to the camera when you're speaking with them. Okay. I know it feels weird. I've been doing it for over 1 year, working with Hack. But yeah, that's very important, because the person who's watching you will feel like you're making eye contact. And that's very important to build your personal connections with your interviewer. Okay. All right. So, and what about the red flags? Bruna, from your experience, what makes a candidate to do not succeed the first interview and do not move in the process?
All right. So often we receive after the companies interview the candidate, they send us some feedback, either if the candidate's moving forward within the process or not. Okay. So the companies usually share with us some information that are very valuable, and we would like to mention and talk about some of them here. Okay. So not enough preparation. This is the main reason why candidates do not move forward in the selection process. So sometimes candidates interview with the companies with zero or very little preparation, not enough reading about the company, the business, the products, mission, and values. Okay, so this is very important for the candidate to identify with the mission and the values of the company, as well, because it is important for the candidate to feel a match and feel good working for this company. So there must be identification between the candidate values and what the company does. Okay, this is very important. Also, research about the country, the city, the neighborhoods that the city have. If you have kids, about school system, things to do outside, activities. You must be able to see yourself and your family, if you're relocating with the family, living in this new location. So you must feel good in thinking about relocating to this new place. Okay. Something that companies often share with us is the candidates not being able to sell themselves. Okay, so lack of objectivity shows insecurity. So the company needs to feel that you're ready to talk about your experience and show them that you are the good fit, the ideal candidate that they are looking for. So having this your speech prepared would show them your confidence and why you are the perfect match with the job that they have. Okay, and not demonstrating the right reason to relocate. So this is very important as well. So we know that relocation is a life goal of many IT professionals. We know that, but it is important to consider the company first, and with the company first, relocation come as a consequence. So so the company and the country should be a consequence for the position that you are applying. So the companies won't feel that they are only like a step or a way for you to move from your home country to a new place, and that can be disappointing to the company. So we have to be careful about the reasons to relocate as well.
All right, great. So since we do have this of feedback from companies and stuff of why candidates might not move forward in the process, that's why we're here, right? We're here to tell you again, preparation is the key, right? You are not going to start an interview without preparing yourself, because that's that may be the first step to change your life, right? And you don't want to miss it, right? So how can you start preparing? All right. So first of all, you already have your profile ready on Van Hack. You have a resume and stuff. The recruiters already selected you, right? You already have an interview scheduled with the company. So now, how do you prepare for that? So here I would like to share with you what I call the pathway to success, right? So first thing, you need to know yourself and your career very well. You need to be able to share your experience and tell who you are to the company, right? You are that professional that they are looking for. One very important thing is your personal information. It's not relevant for a job interview. Okay, so where you're from, your age, your marital status, anything, it's not relevant. So focus on giving an overview of your career to them, because that's what will get their attention, right? So who are you? What kind of developer are you? What kind of technologies have you worked with? Have you worked for big companies, that will make an impact in your elevator pitch, right? So take your time to review your resume. Ask yourself, what stories can you tell from your career? What are the most relevant projects you have worked on? Okay. Second step would be to study the company. And when we say study the company, it doesn't mean just check their website, right? Try to go deeper. Try to find them on social media. Try to find them on Glassdoor. Read what people are talking about them. Find them on LinkedIn. Find the key people of the company. Get to know their background. Get to know what the news tell about the company. Do they have any kind of community project going on? What kind of product do they have? Is this something that helps people achieve things in their lives, or is this more like commercial, or try to understand what that company do, and their culture, right? What kind of environment will you find there? Are they more formal? Are they more friendly? What are their values? Do their values connect to your own personal values, right? That's very important. Next step would be to study the job description. The job description will tell you mostly what you need to connect with your experience and share in the job interview. So pay attention on what they're looking for as soft skills as well. So you prepare your stories about those soft skills. Um, Study the tech stack, what is your biggest strength in that job description, so that is the thing that you want to focus in your interview and you want to share, right? Try to see what they are looking for as a bonus. Sometimes companies will say, well, it's not required, but it is a plus for you. So you want to prepare your stories about that as well. So that way you can be like unique in the competition, and you can demonstrate why you're right the candidate for that. Um, as soon as you know who are the interviewers for each interview you're going to have, study about them as well. Find them on LinkedIn. You don't need to connect with them right away, but find their profile, get to know their background. See if they publish any articles on LinkedIn. What are they saying about the company? What is their positioning there? Is it a person from the HR? Is it a person from the tech team? Is it the CEO of the company? Because it changes what you're going to share with them in the interview, right? So get to know them beforehand. That way you can even find personal connections with them, okay? And you will feel more comfortable when you meet them online. And last but not least, build your connections. As I said, once you know, once you understand the company's product and company's culture, you can build your connections, right? Have you worked for in a project similar to what the company do? That's one connection, right? So what you want to share with them. What kind of culture do they have? Do you see yourself in that kind of environment, right? So build your connections beforehand as well. That will help you to succeed in your interview, right? Another thing here, I have kind of an exercise that you guys can practice um, before any interview, and it helps even for building your resume and your profile, and also building your answers. Um, we usually encourage you guys to use the CAR methodology, which means context, action, and results. This will help you to have your answers concise and relevant for the interview. So pay attention on their questions, what they are looking for with that question. What do they want to know? Are they asking you a yes or no question? Are they asking you a more open question? If it's an open question, so what is the context of that situation? And then what actions you took to go through that? And last, what were the result? Did you achieve what was expected? How did you handle that? How was your client feeling about that? Okay, so here I have some examples, and you guys can practice anytime with any of your projects and stuff, right? So moving right along, we also have some tips about body language. Okay, again, the online interview, they are going to see you from the camera. So you're going to have like from your shoulder up to help you, right? So as I said, our body speaks. So it's very important to also watch it. You don't want to be sitting down like this and maybe having a pen with you and not paying attention. You want to be engaged in the conversation, right? You want to show interest. So when you join the interview with them, you can break the ice, right? Say hello to them, maybe ask them how they're doing, at the end of the day, both of you are human beings, right? So even though you might be nervous for that interview, but still, say a nice hello, smile. There's no problem with that, right? Um, but again, keep a professional posture, right? You can be friendly, but also keep it professional. It is a business meeting, okay? Um, again, sit up straight but comfortably, because you're going to be there for maybe 30 minutes, maybe 1 hour, maybe it's a panel interview of 3 hours, right? Further in the process. So another thing that will help you feel comfortable when you're sitting down, keep your feet on the ground so you have the sense of space. Your body knows where you are, and it helps you to be more comfortable and more confident. Um, Show confidence. So again, use your body to show confidence. Use your voice tone also to demonstrate that. Speak clearly and on a good pace. And when I say speak clearly, it has nothing to do with accent. Okay, it's about how clear you can describe things, how clear you can deliver your message. Okay, so that's why practice is important for you. As much as you tell your stories, right, you can spot where you can improve and stuff. Again, engage in the conversation, right? It's take it as a business meeting. You can ask questions to the interviewers, right? If you need a minute to think and remember an example, it's fine to ask for a minute. Or if you don't understand the question, it's fine to ask them to repeat the question. Okay, and again, smile with a heart in the interview, right? And also, you can watch the interviewer's body language, right? How do they react to to your answers? Do they rush into a next question, or do they take their time to listen to your story, right? Do they keep eye contact? So the same way that you should be looking at the camera when speaking, watch them while they speak. Do they look at the camera as well? Do they make eye contact to you? Do they seem interested in your stories? Do they ask you for more details? Um, if they don't seem interested, you can change your strategies and keep them engaged. Change, maybe ask a question, maybe keep your answers even shorter, right? Um, and again, how do they make you feel? Do you feel comfortable speaking with that person? Would you like to be working with that person, right? So that's also important for you as well. All right. And yeah, as I said, a job interview can be taken as a business meeting, right? You are negotiating, you are offering your values, your experience to them. So keep in mind that company is looking for a partnership, right? They are not against you. So keep in mind, what are you offering to them and what from them got your attention, right? That's very important when they ask you why you want to work for them, right? You can be as active as the interviewer, as I said. You can ask questions. You can share stories, right? Also, have your arguments ready to support your answers. It's very important to have solid examples. If you're having an interview with HR person, you can expect behavioral and cultural questions. But if you're having an interview with developers, definitely expect technical questions. And that's when you want to share how well you know that technology, and how you use it to do things and how and why things are done. Again, have your questions prepared. They're super important. Question will demonstrate your interest in the opportunity and in the company, right? And last but not least, always tell the truth, right? Remember that you can be strategical. You can choose what information to share with them, but tell the truth, right? And always be yourself, okay? So let's just recap some of mistakes, right? Right, Bruna? That might um, not help you to succeed, right? So remember that you want to be unique in that competition, right? You want to be the candidate that they are looking for. So you're not just another average candidate. So you need to work on your preparation, right? So as Bruna said before, sometimes you're not focused on your career enough. Sometimes candidates are focused only in relocating. That can be a huge red flag for the companies, right? So to build your path and avoid mistakes, focus on your career. So have your goals very clear for yourself, right? Where you see yourself in the next years. Do you see yourself with the company that you are interviewing for in the next years, right? Offer to them solutions. This is what they're looking for. Of course, it's very important to be someone who like to learn things and who like to share and stuff. But what solutions are you willing to bring to the company, right? How are you going to solve their problems, right? And this is what you want to sell to them. And again, as Bruna said, relocating would be a bonus, right? It would be the consequence of getting that job when the job is for relocation, right? Do you have anything to add, Bruna?
Nope, everything's perfect.
All right, all good. Okay, so again, trust yourself, right? As we said, when you're preparing yourself, make sure that you go through all your experience. Choose the most relevant information that you want to share with them. Keep in mind that it's a selling process, right? You're selling to them. Um, and now that most companies are migrating to the remote scenario, also remember to share with them like your experience working remotely as well, right? How are you handling that? And maybe that's a question that you want to ask to the company as well, and know more of how they have been adapting, how they're handling communication among the teammates and stuff, right? All of that is very, very important, right? Okay, I think we can share some of our current openings, right? And then we open for questions, correct?
Yes. So currently we have around 80 positions open on the platform. Okay. Some of the companies, they are open for a 100% remote position. So please be aware of that once you apply for those positions. And but other companies are offering positions to start remote because of the COVID-19 situation, and then relocating once the travel bans for Canada and Europe are over. Okay, so for you to have an idea, on the first quarter of 2020, we had 55 hires. Okay, and some of them already started working remotely. We have companies adjusting contracts to have hired candidates working remote while the relocation process happens. So we have our global mobility team working with these applications, and once the travel bans are done, people will be able to relocate. Okay, so we have the two scenarios here nowadays at VanHack. We have seen also. Of course, an increase in some uh, stacks as JavaScript, Ruby on Rails, and mobile development. But of course, we have positions open for other stacks as well, as Java, .NET, Python, DevOps, and roles like machine learning and etc. Okay, so keep an eye on our platform and apply for the jobs that you will feel a fit with. And I have like some jobs to share. One for Canada, which is a Ruby developer for Montreal. We have a JavaScript developer for Germany. So we have jobs in both locations, Canada and Europe, and a remote position that they are looking for a mobile developer. So check the positions on the platform, the other positions that we have open as well, and apply if you fit the positions, and of course get your profile ready so we can be in touch with you shortly.
All right, thank you, Bruna. And just another reminder, as Bruna mentioned, you need to make sure when applying to the position if it's 100% remote or not, right? Just to be aware of that. So I would like just to share that we are going to release a new version of our candidate profile pretty soon, and you guys will have the option, to check if you are only open for remote jobs or if you are only open to remote plus relocation, right? So that's another thing that will help us to match you with the most suitable vacancies, right? So keep that in mind when building your profile. Make sure that all the information is there, right?
And also, could I just add something?
Sure.
Please just be select on the profile the location that you are open to relocate. Okay, because we recruiters, we use that in order to get in touch. So if you're open only for jobs in Canada, just select Canada. If you consider all jobs in Europe, you can add countries in Europe as well. Okay, but be smart in making these choices. Okay, just don't put like every country, and we'll be contacting you for jobs with the for locations that are not your target. So take care, pay attention on that, and select the countries that you are really open for relocation.
Yeah, that's very important as well, right? So that's also why you need to know yourself very well and know your and have your career goals very clear, right? So what makes sense for your career, right? So make sure to have your profile complete, all the information there, um, well done, right? So it will help our recruiters as well. Before we open to questions, so I told you guys that I would share a big promotion with you, right? So uh, we are having now in on April this promotion with our VinHack Premium subscription, right? So what is the premium? The VinHack Premium. Um, it is a subscription that you can get monthly or every 3 months or 6 months. And you're going to have access to our library of different courses and all the classes that we already had. We have about 40 hours of English/interview classes available per month. So, as I said in the beginning, I am one of the instructors. So, each day from Monday to Thursday, we do have different instructors. Teaching you how to behave on interviews, practicing another questions with you, even giving you tips on your communication and stuff. We also have a service for profile review. So when you finish building your profile, we do have someone um, specialized to go over your profile and tell you where you can improve, and help you also to be found by our recruiters. We also have monthly webinars, so we do have a lot of content in there to help you keep preparing, And I believe that the most important thing about VanHack Premium is the community, right? We do have a Slack only for premium members. And there we do have a very nice community with Van hackers that got hired, Van hackers that are in the processes, So each one, everyone helping each other, hired ones sharing their experiences and what they did to get their jobs and encouraging other Van hackers to keep on their journey, right? So here you have the prices, right? So you can get up to 50% off if you subscribe for 6 months. I will share the link here on the chat. So if you guys are interested, go there, check that out. And if you have any questions, just drop us a message. We do have one person also responsible for the premium subscription, and we will be there to help you and answer any of your questions, right? So, okay, I think we can open for questions right now, right? And as you can see here, you can find Bruna and I on Slack as well. So you can drop us a message if you have any questions regarding hiring processes or interviews, right? Or even about Premium, even about our community. Find us there, drop us a message, okay? Right. Let's check the chat. Bruna, do you want to start with the questions?
Yes, I have selected some questions that I would like to talk about. Some very nice ones. So one of the questions are if VanHack mock interviews are only for premium members. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not only for premium members. Okay. All Van hackers will have the opportunity to have at least one mock interview. Um, the only thing you need to do is to be selected for a job and have your interview scheduled with the company or soon to be scheduled, right? So you're going to be contacted by one of our recruiters. You will receive a mock interview request to schedule yours, and then you're going to have this one-on-one call with our team. So it's either for free members or premium members.
Okay. So the mock interviews are we sent to the companies that are um, interviewing actively. So now we don't offer mock interviews for people that are actively looking, but once they have an interview confirmed with a Canadian or European company, yes, we can start the preparation for the mock interviews. Okay, cool. So let me see what else. There's one saying if you don't find a connection with the company that you are 100% sure that you reject an offer if you receive one. Should you reject starting a process or should you use the opportunity to practice your interviewing skills, knowing that you won't like to work for that company? So I would say no. Okay, so the companies, they invest a lot of time, a lot of people involved, us and your time. So I believe that that's not a good practice. If you do that, that's not going to be good for. I don't think that the company will feel like well, just having been used for a practice. So please don't do that. Only interview with companies that you feel comfortable working with in the future. Anything to add, Aline?
No, that's it. Yeah. Use your time and the company's time wisely, because if you go through all the process and at the end you just reject the offer that you knew you would reject, that might not cause a good impression to them, right? And also know beforehand why you're not going to accept that offer. So as I said, be yourself, tell the truth, and tell the truth for our recruiters as well, right? So
Right.
maybe you're not interested in that country, or maybe that
The
business that the
business.
company works. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, let our recruiters know, if that position makes sense to your career.
Okay. Some people here asked, what's the best way to answer the question, why would you like to work with us? Without mentioning relocation as a first and principal reason to move.
Right. So keep in mind that you want to work for a company because there are aspects from them that motivates you to join them. And you also want to work for a company because you know how you can use your skills to solve their problems. So basically create that connection, mention things about them um, that makes sense for your career, that connects to your values as well. And also add what you're bringing to the company.
Yeah, I always tell the candidates because me, when I'm interviewing candidates, I know some people are on the chat were interviewed by me already. I recognize some names, and I always ask this: why would you like to relocate? What is your main reason to relocate? And I always tell them focus on the company and on your career. Relocation is a consequence, so have that in mind, and that will be a good start for you. Another question about salary expectation, how to approach this. I would say research. Research. Use Glassdoor, PayScale, and other tools to help you to find the salary range for the region that you're relocating. I have materials that I share with the candidates that I'm in process with for cost of living comparison, taxes, so you can understand how much you would pay on taxes for the country that you're moving to. So it is important for you to have this whole scenario in mind in order to give a number to the company, okay? And we avoid a situation where the company sends you an offer and then a month after you start the process, you don't think the number is good for you. So preparation and research, okay? And of course, me and other recruiters are here to help.
And also, only speak about salary expectations or benefits if the interviewer asks you, right? You don't want to be the one bringing that up in the interview, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, and another thing, sorry.
Go, go.
Um, we last year we had the relocation summit, And we do have a webinar in there about negotiating salaries. So you guys might want to check that out as well.
Okay, okay. There was a question about, let me see if I can find here. There was a question about how to correlate personal projects to the technical interviews. So if you work on a stack with a certain for personal projects and you have a GitHub to share, of course we can highlight that with the company. So if you don't have a lot of professional experience on a certain stack, but you have been working with that on the side for personal projects, that's very important, and we are super happy to share those links that you provide with us or GitHub to the companies, and the companies can see a little bit more about your technical skills there. Okay, let me see what else. Okay, so we have a question about the entire application process in a position until we open to the hire, to the final step. So that depends, okay? We have different companies and they have different selection process. We follow the guidance of the company that we are assisting, okay? So it's hard to determine how many steps do we have, what's first, technical interview, HR interview. So each company has a different process. Of course, when we consider a candidate to the first interview, me and my colleagues, we also highlight, okay, so this is an HR interview. This is a technical interview. The first will be a technical assessment. So candidates know what to expect, okay? So it's hard to set in stone which process it's going to be because we follow the company's idea for their selection process. Anything else? Let me see more.
Yeah, just add that for the hiring process, as I mentioned, we do offer mock interviews, right, for the candidates, especially those who are moving to the final rounds, right? Because the final interview is the most important one, like followed by I would say the first one. So yeah, you want to make sure that you are closer to close that deal, right? So for final round interviews, we definitely will help you prepare as well.
Okay, so there's a question here about when we share the company's name and the job description. So the job description is on the website. Okay, so you once you apply, you can check the main responsibilities and the main skills that this developer must have. So usually on the interviews with us, we usually share the name of the company. We usually share the of course we know the location, right? Because once we open a position, we have the location there. So the name of the company, we share the website, and the candidates can start having this research done. That's very important.
Do you have more questions?
Let me see.
I see one here about relocation. If you are relocating for personal reasons, is it fine to be honest with the company in this case? Well, I would like to highlight that um, for the job interview, again, your personal information, your personal reasons will not be relevant for the company. And if you focus only on your personal reasons, the company may understand that you're using them as a way to get to another country, and they are not sure, they will not feel like sure that you're going to stay with them, right? So you can definitely have your personal plans, you can have your personal reasons, and you can work on that, right, to accomplish that. But for the job interview, remember, keep in mind, the company comes first, right? It's a negotiation. You're selling your knowledge to them, right? You are telling to the company why you are the professional that they are looking for. Okay?
Yeah, there's a question here asking if premium is mandatory to get a job. No, it isn't. We have premium candidates that are more, let's say, prepared because we have the interview classes, resumes, reviews, and etc. But it's not mandatory. We select candidates premium and non-premium.
Yeah. And I saw another question about premium, about the classes. Just to add something. Yes, for our premium subscriptions, we do have the classes, the interview preparation classes. That's exclusive for premium. So we do have Marina with behavioral interview questions and also grammar to help you with communication. We do have myself with the technical interviews, which we are going to be working on technical questions and building discussions and also some practical exercises as well. And we also have our CEO, Ilya, um, giving classes about interviews as well. So he's working with common questions with you guys, giving his pieces of advice, sharing his experience in this market, and so on. So, yes, those interview practice classes are part of the premium. Mhm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we are almost done here because we have like a time limit. So do you have anything to add, Aline?
And no, do we have a one final question? Maybe we do have like 4 minutes. Let's
Okay,
see.
so I have one here about if nationality or age make a difference. So doesn't. So gender, nationality, age, we don't consider that in order to select a candidate.
Yeah. The only thing that will make the difference is if you're older than others, maybe your career is longer, right? You have more experience. So actually, that can be a good thing for you, right? But it's not something that will put you apart. Your age definitely is not relevant.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think yes, we can share the presentation later on. And yeah, it was great to have you guys here. I really enjoyed it. If you do have more questions, just drop us a message on Slack, right? Bruna, do you have anything to add?
No, it was just a pleasure to be here, partner again with you, and having this awesome people here interacting with us. So thank you very much for the chance and the opportunity to speak here.
Yeah, the recruitment team works very closely to the success team which I am part of. So we are always teaming up, to get you guys to the right positions, job positions, and preparing yourself. So it's a teamwork, right? So yeah.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys for being here, for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope we could clarify your questions. Make sure to join Karan next week and have your questions prepared as well, about immigration and what changes. And the following week, make sure to join Ilya, our CEO, um, to get to know more about his experience with this remote scenario and stuff and get to know some of our success cases. Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. And you all have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.